The person accused of killing 5 people in a Colorado club is in court. An update on what's happening there. Plus, behind the success of Chippendales, I sit down with the cast of the new Hulu series that chronicles the brand's rise. And Love Actually is marking a milestone. We'll tell you how the cast is celebrating. That's all coming up on Advocate Today. Welcome to Advocate Today. I'm Tracy E. Gilchrist. Here's what we're following. The suspect in the Colorado Springs LGBTQ+ nightclub shooting faced a judge for the first time Wednesday to hear charges brought against them. Appearing via video conference in court, Anderson Lee Aldrich heard formal charges including first-degree murder and bias-motivated charges. Aldrich is being held without bond. According to court filings, Aldrich identifies as non-binary and uses they-them pronouns. Also, according to court records, Aldrich had a chaotic upbringing. They were raised by their grandmother at times as their mother struggled with her own mental health issues and criminal matters. Colorado Springs authorities say they have reached out to Aldrich's mother, but have not spoken to her and do not know where she is. A brother and sister who were injured in the attack are now recovering in different hospitals. James Slow says he was separated from his sister during the chaos. Fearing the worst, Slow ultimately received an update on his sister's status.
I got to the hospital, I'm like, where's my sister? Where's my sister? Where's my sister? They didn't know. I feared the worst, but now, we tracked her down a day later. We know she was in another hospital that had been blocked off. And she's making a she's in recovery right now. She's very stable. She's strong.
That's some good news that James' sister has been accounted for and that she's also recovering. The Colorado Healing Fund has been activated in response to the Club Q tragedy. Donations are helping support the survivors and families of this tragedy. For more information or to make a donation, go to coloradohealingfund.org and click on Support Colorado Healing Fund button. The famed brand Chippendales has become a staple in Las Vegas and beyond, but the story behind the rise of Chippendales didn't happen the way you may think. It's a story of an immigrant with a dream who stopped at nothing to make it happen. The rise and history are now being told in a new Hulu series, Welcome to Chippendales. I connected with the cast to learn more about its founder and how the series sheds light on many different issues.
Please welcome Mr. Chippendales himself, Nick DeNoia.
Chippendales is my creation. I hired him.
You and me stick together, or we go to war. It's not a threat. It's a promise. He's gonna walk all over you.
I wonder if you would share some of your kind of first impressions of either reading the script or being pitched this story, which I didn't know was as dark as this. I think it's fascinating.
I was like you. I was completely surprised by this story. I didn't know that any of it existed. I knew the Chippendales growing up in Australia as this, fun kind of campy male review. Had no idea that there was such a dark and fascinating kind of true crime story happening, behind the scenes. So I was really intrigued, to say the least. I mean, I'm fascinated also because it's an immigrant story. It's it's a story about an American dream or the American dream and different versions of that from the different characters in this show, and how that can sort of get murky and it can be sort of taken over by an obsession with fame and money. Stuff that I think is, very sort of pertinent for us. Maybe always as humans, but I think, especially now seems to be something that is a conversation worth having. And these characters with just fierce ambition in a way that makes them incredibly competitive, and just seeing what happens when those characters have that unchecked ambition and where it takes them, and it takes them to a really dark place.
I kind of grew up knowing about Chippendales, and I wonder, from someone who is from a different generation, how does it read to you, this whole idea of women kind of having these, men dancing for them? And does that read like empowerment, or what does that feel like to someone of a different generation?
I really love the way Dorothy looked at it. because she said, you know, basically, guys get to do this, you know, women, you know, do all, you know, whether it's a strip club or a thing like that, why can't women have that? So I really loved her view on it. She thought it was very empowering, and she had so much fun doing it, and she loved it, and she definitely came from a place where she thought women should express their sexuality, and she felt that it was very empowering. So I really loved that about her.
I think it's interesting because, of course, this is obvious, but it wasn't obvious to me before watching Welcome to Chippendales that the entire idea was appropriated from gay culture. And I wonder if you would comment on that a little bit.
You know what's funny is, like, you're right. That's literally in the show, but I hadn't, like,
thought about it.
Confidence that because I guess I'm so used to it. You know, that's what. You know, the thing with that, I guess the only thing I can think of to go with that is that we all borrow from other cultures. Yeah. We all participate and we're inspired. And to me, the real conversation in that is, well, then why aren't we taking art that we take from one community, why aren't we taking that art and also bringing those people with us? Like, that's the real combo. Because I think it's okay. We're gonna borrow. That's what we do. We're sharing a planet and a human experience. But just make sure that I get to make money out of it too.
Yeah, that's what yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, just the fact that Nick was closeted while being a part of it.
Oh, true. Yeah. It would.
And of course, one of the important aspects of the show is that it touches on this racism and inherent in Chippendales and, I mean, in the world, and also this fetishization of a Black man, while also, you know, gatekeeping him out of the real story. And I wonder if you would talk a little bit about what it means to you to portray this.
Yeah. I mean, you really did say it. I mean, that's honestly a big part of what drew me to the character. You know, in my personal past, I have played characters that have gone through discrimination and racism, but it's been more, you know, on the head as far as dealing with you can't drink at that water fountain type of thing. But this, I thought it was just so intricate to deal with something that is on the outside, you know, being desired by someone is a positive feeling, but knowing that where it was coming from actually being a negative, knowing that I was being desired because I was being fetishized as the other, as the forbidden fruit, I just felt like playing that and playing the complexities that go along with a human being going through that. It just excited me, you know, because, you know, as a Black male in today's society, I've been fetishized for that reason, you know? So to put that on screen and to mix it with the time period and what was going on as far as that, and then to have it in Otis's face where he's not being used to market the club, even though he's the most popular dancer at the club. It was just so much to deal with and so much to portray that it was just exciting as an artist to go through it, and illuminating as an artist, you know, to just kind of find out some things even about myself while going through everything that he went through in a way.
Thank you to the cast of Welcome to Chippendales for joining me. It's streaming now on Hulu. And before we let you go, an iconic film is celebrating its 20th anniversary. The cast of the beloved Christmas movie Love Actually is reuniting for an anniversary TV special. Hugh Grant, Laura Linney, Emma Thompson, Bill Nighy, and Thomas Brodie Sangster, along with writer-director Richard Curtis, are taking part. The 2003 romantic comedy tells the story of several intersecting characters as they prepare for Christmas in London. The Laughter and Secrets of Love Actually, 20 years later, a Diane Sawyer special, looks at how the film gathered the ensemble. It will also dive into how the COVID-19 pandemic changed the way people interact, love, and connect. Thank you for joining me on this Advocate today. TheAdvocateChannel.com is available now. Head there for more content and coverage that advocates for you. I'm Tracy E. Gilchrist. I'll see you next time.